Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. All right. Let's see what we have going on here tonight in these tea leaves. We have the Nine of Cups tonight, and that in the Thoth system is related to happiness. Okay, and it's not a bad card to start the reading with. Not a bad card to kind of set the tone. All right, all right. Now the house is quiet. You're probably going to hear some cats. As soon as everything gets quiet, they come a-running. Okay. So we have, here's the card. And this is the Nine of Cups, as I said, happiness. You can see these cups are beautiful. They are overflowing with the dew of the lotus, the kind of the fluids of life, I would say, the thing that gives us sustenance, makes us creative, keeps us alive and moving, full and evolving, right? And kind of, like the nectar of the gods. So, the coloring on this is nice. The purples, the blues, the golden yellows, and, we're happy to see a happy card. Doesn't always work out that way. So, the first thing that I want to look at right here is these two lovely creatures that look like they're upright, kind of in a humanoid form, and they look like they are dancing together. I think this is a very festive energy. Makes sense to me. We are coming up on the solstice. That would be either the summer solstice or the winter solstice, depending on where you are at. Now, I cannot claim to know what kinds of festivals happen in the southern hemisphere for the winter. I imagine it's something like what we have here in the north, although I honestly couldn't be sure. I need to do some reading about that. But what I do know, in the northern hemisphere, where we are going into summer, it already feels like summer. Probably why I'm a little spacey today. I've been out in the sun, in the heat, and just, taking in every moment I can of this nice weather. So, this festive spirit, I think, comes up in both, when we go into both seasons. I think that there's a lot of that kind of bacchanalian, wild, plump with life and exuberance and dancing and merriment and, just on the very edge of that ecstatic love and madness that might ensue as well. And so this idea of the dancing and the chaos and the laughing and embrace and all of those beautiful things that happen on those warm summer nights, right? So I really think that you are there in spirit. I think that spirit is there with you, and you are feeling so embraced. And, you know, through this happiness, there's been a large amount of inspiration, of, you know, just kind of the desire for acts of devotion, of love, of embrace, of family, of the beloved, maybe something romantic, whatever it is. I think that it's very much in your mind, and you are almost being swept away with it, almost. Now, we haven't hit that super deep part of the season yet. Well, we haven't even entered, really, summer, but, or winter. But we know that when we get deeper in the season, that's when things can start to come a little undone, right? I always kind of think of, well, I know the movie, but that movie, what is it called? I think it's Cat on the Hot Tin Roof, right? With Elizabeth Taylor. And and if you've seen that, then you know maybe what I'm talking about. Just these kind of real heated, emotional arguments that people start to get into when the weather is so warm and oppressive. There's, you know, you're tired, there's so much going on, family issues start to rear their head, and I think that the same kinds of things happen in the winter. And I'm just trying to get this cat over here. Thank you. You come lay with me, or you gotta go. You can lay on me like a little baby, but I'm not gonna have you on my new tablecloth. So I think that we're before all of that sets in, thankfully. So this is the fun stuff. This is the fun, exciting, celebratory enjoyment. And I think that, you know, you are putting this into the things that you're creating. I think that you are, and I see a person with their hands up here, celebrating enjoyment, excited to wake up in the morning. I see another person kind of jumping for joy here. Okay. And I have this feeling that it's like you are making little plans for your days. You are completing things. You are, you know, treating yourself to some time to unwind, some time to make use of all of the things that you have worked so hard to obtain. And, you know, things seem to be going pretty well. Now, I am seeing 1 and 2 stop signs. Okay, this one is even actually red, which is like a big sign that one of the more brownish red rust color tea leaves showed up there as the stop sign really indicates to me that this is a you know, big symbol from the universe saying, okay, stop. Just listen for a second here. And I think that what's been going on is that you have been having some bad dreams. Okay. I think you're feeling great. Things are wonderful. But you're having a period of kind of restlessness, troubled dreaming. I think you are worrying about things that are out of your control, and it is manifesting in that dream world. It feels like you do have these kind of big, abrupt kind of stop you know, like this feeling to stop your movement, stop your, you know, road to bliss, and look at this, right? And I think that that is causing some anxiety. But the good news here is that I think oftentimes, though this might seem really dualistic and kind of oddly paired, when we have kind of really prosperous, successful, enjoyable, happy times in our life, then these more difficult themes or events or, you know, whatever it is, come about, symbols, synchronicities, messaging from the divine or some other intelligence, they arise in the more subtle places of our being, okay? In our dream life, in our vision work, in our meditation. If you do any kind of divination, this might be something that keeps coming up for you. And it's not, to me it seems logical because there is a balance, but also when you are in these places of kind of ease as far as the material world is going, your spiritual world, your emotional world, probably feeling pretty physically well, it seems like the psyche is like, okay, this is a good time to kind of work through some things. You're feeling pretty solid. You might be agreeable to looking at some of this more difficult stuff. And so this is why I think that this is happening. I don't know exactly what is coming up for you, but as I do in a lot of readings, if it is something that, you know, could be destabilizing or you feel like you need some extra support, I think that you should go ahead and activate your support system. You know, go talk about this with your therapist, or if you do not have a therapist or counselor, and you have the privilege to have access to that kind of, you know, that kind of doctor or, you know, whatever, I think that, you know, that's definitely something to think about. There are also support groups of different kinds, and I always, I know it's like a kind of a, I'm not advertising for Reddit, but I always do kind of shout out Reddit because I do think it's a place where you can be more anonymous. If you are looking for a community, and you have to be discerning, of course, and be careful what you're reading. Don't take any medical advice. But I think that it's a good place to passively have some kind of support, or, you know, interacting with other people who might be going through some of the same things. There are a lot of subreddits on there that cover all kinds of stuff. So whatever your situation is, or whatever is coming up for you, might be a good place to look. So yes, also, you know, I think that something else that is really helpful when we are going through periods of time where we are dreaming intensely, there are lingering kinds of impressions or information that's coming back over with you into your waking life. And that is to write about it, journal it, keep a diary of some kind. Just keep track of kind of what you're experiencing, how it's making you feel. And really, you don't need to ever look at it again, but it might help. I really do believe that when we write down our thoughts, when we write down our intentions, when we write down just the random stuff that is going through our heads, it becomes something else. And then even when you utter these things, you know, you read them, it feels even different than that. So they become very complex kinds of thought forms through this process. And that can be very freeing. Okay, and I think also it helps us experience what we're feeling or what we're thinking about differently and from different perspectives. And they might just have different, you know, it might make your emotions feel a little different. And I think that's really important for processing things. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have? We have a person here, okay, and they have, it looks like a little, maybe like a little dog next to him. And I really, I picture you kind of with your, well, with your dog maybe, or, I feel like you just really have a close bond with an animal in general, or you have in the past. And I think that this is a very loving place. I think that for you, you are a person that you relate to animals in a way where it's not like you own an animal. You're not a person that like has a pet. You own a pet. I feel like you have a best friend, or you live with somebody you love immensely and they just happen to be, you know, non-human. And so if you are without an animal, or you are in a situation where you cannot have an animal living with you, or, you know, being with you, I think it would be a wonderful time to go and visit with maybe some rescue animals, or somebody, if you know somebody that has an animal that you enjoy being around, that isn't, you know, gonna nip at you or something. Go and get some love, give them some pets, go enjoy yourself. And if you do have an animal living in the, or they're letting you live with them, as I like to say about the cats here, I think, you know, just spending some extra time settling down, being a little quiet together, and just kind of, you know, doing that kind of devotional petting and scritching and cuddling and just, you know, de-stressing a little bit. And that might be good in the morning if you have time after you've woken up. You might have some of those lingering feelings of the night that kind of, you know, were uncomfortable for you. I think sharing some of that stress with your animal friend would be good. Okay, we also have a couple of hearts here. I have a heart, and oh no. Just got some tea right on this thing. And then I have a person here, and this person looks like they're on, from where I'm looking at. Let's see, yes, right there. So right there, it looks like a person who may be pregnant, okay? And there's a lot of heart here. And then if you go up here, it looks like we have kind of a person holding up a small person, maybe a baby, okay? And then we have these two forms right here. They look like maybe two angels kind of blessing this union of mother or father and child. And I don't know if you're pregnant, or if you are having a child or a grandchild, or if you have before, or maybe this is a wish that you have. Whatever it is, I feel that there is a feeling of blessing from the universe. of being kind of held, and I get like the visual of, you know, infinite mothers holding each other as they hold their children, and their children are holding their children. And so it's just a long line of this kind of blessing of, you know, the divine love that only you can have with a child that you love. It doesn't have to be your child, and they don't have to be your parents. But there's something about relating to a person, a being that has come into the world, and they kind of have yet to be, you know, really initiated into this kind of base reality that we all live in. And so it's hard not to kind of have some kind of connection with them, at least the instinct to protect, right? And to kind of envelope them in safety as they kind of emerge into a deeper consciousness. And this doesn't even have to necessarily be about a physical child. This could definitely be about your inner child, about healing generational trauma, healing traumas that have happened to you directly, whatever it is that has gone on. There's a lot of love here, a lot of kind of just selflessness, I would say. You are a very selfless person, a very caring and giving person. And I think that's something that people really know you for, you know. And when the people of your life kind of think about you, they really do think about, not to the point where it's like, oh, they'll do, you know, they like being kind of the person that just has to pick up for everybody else, right? That's not what I mean. But I mean somebody who truly shows up for other people. You have just like a deep empathy. Okay, and now I want to, and I see here, it looks like a bowl, and then we have, it looks like maybe, I keep thinking like an eagle, kind of right above it. And I think that there's a duality here. There's kind of this rested, masculine, kind of the fire of the body, the virile life force flowing through this being, but at rest, right? And then we have this more airy, intellectual, soaring, creative creature that is kind of right above this more grounded, but very much like has that force of life, the thing that just like busts through all things, and you know, it does not stop. There's no stopping that kind of that energy. It just continually disperses into all things. And so paired together, I think that this is just a beautiful activation of consciousness. Another thing to verify that you are on a path, while also having kind of this unshakable relationship with your faith. I think that you, more than any time in your life, have this deep feeling of like a growing wholeness, emotional expansion, and just a confidence in yourself. I feel that you truly trust yourself in your decisions. I don't know that has always been the case, but I do think that this is something that really just is emanating out of you. And it, you know, I think that it kind of almost leaves people in awe, right? And it's almost like people who have known you for a long time, they're seeing a side of you that they had not seen before. And, you know, and really, what does it matter what people think? But when they do think well of us, right, doesn't it kind of feel a little bit good? So I think that people are just really kind of taken aback with just how much you are together in yourself. When you speak, it is commanding, it is enchanting, it is intoxicating. And your movements are of love and connectedness, and just almost like you are dancing continually, flowing through. And I think that is probably so lovely to behold. And I wonder if you all will be able to hear, the cat is on the couch behind me. There's a couch in here. And she's snoring. She sounds like she's over there playing a little trumpet. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so I have a little face. And it just has the smallest little smile. I feel such a serenity in you. And the thing that really comes to mind here also is that this feeling of gazing. I feel like you have just like, you have a gaze that like goes right through people. And I feel like when people talk to you, they just believe that things will be okay. And you have that ability to, I feel like it's not just being a healer, although I do believe you are a healer and a profound caretaker of your community, of your family. But I also think that you are somebody who can lead people. I don't know that you are like a type A, like a leader of the tribe type of thing, but I do think in your ways you lead people quietly into places that will help them know themselves as you know yourself. And I think in so many ways that is the most important work that there can be. So I think that also, you know, with the solstice coming up, I think it would be wonderful for you to go dancing, to find a situation where you will be dancing, have a party, have a dinner party, put on some beautiful music, you know, go dance in the yard with your friends, go out, have a meal, dance with your husband, your wife, your lover. Do something with dancing, because I think that it's really calling you. All right. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such a pleasure and such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you'd be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm, and that is helping us get to more and more people. Building this community here together, 1% at a time. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. Each sign gets read one time a week, and in between now and 7 days from now, you can watch your other placements. And if you want to leave a comment, I read all of the comments, try to get back to them as quickly as I can. Sometimes it takes a little time, maybe, you know, a day or so, but I do read them, and I do always have the intent to get back to them. And I appreciate every word. I really do. Some of you are so open and vulnerable and generous with sharing your stories. Some of you are just so kind and loving, and you are kind and loving to one another. And seeing that go on makes me so happy. I love people that uplift each other and support each other in that way. So, Sagittarius, we will talk again very soon. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk soon.